Uh, we're today's subject is 10 different tips on websites on what people errors that people are doing online,
Right. So I'm
basic
I'm going to
things.
present 10 tips that small business owners are making on their websites
Okay,
that's
good.
causing them to lose tons of money. So by listening to these 10 tips and following this advice, it's going to help you and your business increase revenues and convert your website visitors into paying customers.
Gotcha. So let's say we're talking about like big business like Google, or you're talking about what type of you said a small business. What type of business are you talking about? Like your local mom and pop?
I'm talking about your local business that has a web presence.
Hmm.
Maybe they don't have a marketing team. Maybe they just hired some web design company that just designed them the website, but they didn't actually do anything to help prepare that business for converting those leads into paying customers.
I hear you. So
It's
yeah,
one thing to design a website, it's another thing to design a website that converts
okay,
and makes sales.
good. So in order to create a website that converts, let's start going through these 10 points.
Sure.
Let's
So
what was going to be the first one? Flash.
one of the biggest mistakes that a lot of small business owners are making with their websites is they're using Flash content. Now, a few years ago, Flash was a very big thing on the web.
All right, let's stop there. You said Flash content. Many people probably that are listening to this or seeing this, they probably don't know what Flash is. So let's start. Let's backtrack a little bit to that. What's Flash?
Flash is a way of presenting media on your website. So, for example, things like videos,
Hmm.
interactivity on the page, animations. Um, it's a way of displaying content that is often very attractive and fun to look at.
So would
But
that be like the cartoony content that you?
sure, things like maybe cartoons or different types of videos. A website can be built entirely in Flash.
Wow. Yeah. I think I remember those type of sites. They're some even look like video games and stuff. And
Right,
yeah,
they're fun to look at. They're oftentimes fun to use, but they're bad for your business.
yeah. Okay. So then, okay. So now that we defined what Flash is and that it's bad for your business, can you tell us why?
Sure, there's two main reasons why Flash is not good for your business and why you need to stop using Flash if your website still has Flash content on it. The first main point is that it's very difficult for Google to determine what your website is about if you're using Flash content. Flash and Google don't play well with each other.
Okay.
So when it's difficult for Google to figure out what your website is about, it's difficult for Google to rank your website highly in the search engine for the keywords that your target customers will be looking for.
So basically, what you're saying is that Flash is gobbledygook to Google, right?
Right. It's difficult for Google search engine to understand the code behind Flash to determine what your website is actually talking about.
Okay. Wow. So then that's just not. It's just like freaking no.
It's very bad for search engine optimization.
Okay, that's
So if
important.
you want people to find your website in Google, Flash is the ultimate no-no.
Okay. So no, because we do want people to find us on Google. I mean,
Right.
what are we what are we in business for?
Naturally, pretty much any website out there is going to want people to find them in the search engine.
Very good. So you said there were 2 points. That's one. What's the second one?
The second point is mobile.
Hmm.
More searches are done today on mobile devices than actual desktop computers. It's becoming increasingly common for mobile devices, including iPhones and iPads, to not support Flash. So if your website is built in Flash, everybody out there who is looking for your product or your service that's using an iPhone or an iPad is not going to be able to view the content on your site, which means they're going to leave Go elsewhere and buy from your competitor instead.
Dude, that's so,
So-
that's so freaking. That is That's so cool. It just what happened? Why?
So people need to ask themselves, when was the last time you used an iPhone or an iPad? When was the last time you met somebody who was using an iPhone or an iPad to search Google? I could bet you anything that you probably know somebody who you interacted with today that has an iPhone or an iPad in their pocket right now, and they probably did a Google search. So
Absolutely.
the question is this: if they were looking for the keywords relevant to your business, would they have found you? And if they did find you, would they have been able to use your website in a way that's going to make them want to purchase your product or service?
Wow, wow, that's crazy. So I've seen whenever you do the searches on the web and you find certain sites that have flash, like you said, they have. It's just a big black square, right? It just doesn't come up.
Right. It'll say that this page is not compatible with your web browser.
Right, dude.
And
that
Apple
just-
Safari web browser is not compatible with Flash.
Wow.
Period. And they will never be compatible with Flash.
Yeah, because
Period.
Steve Jobs dropped the hammer a few years ago, right before
Right.
he died.
Mhm.
So, anyways, well, any other thing that you have to say on this point on Flash?
Not on Flash, but we've got a lot more points
Okay,
that
go.
we can cover.